blouse.
We could have to do a jig. There's voice on this, you know.
Oh, my. Gotta be careful there what you say there.
So much to talk about.
Let's talk
Well,
about you.
Yeah, what I'd like to know is, since this is a family reunion, I'd like you to introduce yourself and say, you know, tell me something about your dad and your mom, and how they're related to the Orperts. That this is the Orpert family.
Well, my mother is an orphan. She was Effie,
You're Doris.
and I'm Doris, her oldest daughter.
You have to take care of it.
And I think all the rest of my family are here. My sister, my brother are here too.
Too much going on, isn't there?
It has been. I saw.
My children are not here though. I have my grandchildren. I have my grandson Chris and my granddaughter Erin is here. And why don't you talk to Bill?
No, go ahead.
Well, who is this man? And tell me who he is and how he's related to you.
Oh, this is
Yeah, you talked about me.
This is Bill Han, and he's my first cousin.
What's Jenny's?
This is a cousins reunion, right?
Yeah, this is cousin's reunion.
Go ahead, you're doing all right.
So his mother was Grace Orpert, who married Shirley Han.
Virginia.
And he is the oldest of their children.
Jenny,
You doing fine?
So what
is
did you
your
do
my or
these days?
M-E-Y or M-Y?
M-Y-E-R.
Tell me, hey
On the spot.
Doris,
They are your
hey Doris,
You're retired?
tell me something about him when he was a kid. You remember a story about him when he was a kid? Something he did?
Well, I remember when he was real little and he couldn't walk yet, and I used to grab hold of both of his hands and walk in back of him, and walk down the path at Grandpa Orpert's place out on Egypt Hill.
Was that a farm out there? I've never been out there. What was that like?
No, it's just, it was a large, several acres. I don't know how many acres was.
5, I think.
5 acres? A house at the end of the
Yeah,
road.
5 acres.
And we always enjoyed going out there.
So,
Did you grow up there, Bill?
I was born and raised on Egypt Hill, Miami County.
What's Cheryl's name now? That's why he's got appointed now?
Yeah. Well, tell me about your kids. How many?
S-T-O-L-R.
My wife is Lois. We have 5 children. Deanna, Robert, Susan, John, and Nancy. We have 2 granddaughters, which are here today. Susan is here today with her new husband. The other kids all had something to do, so they didn't make it. Of the 5, we've got 2 married. 1 boy and 1 girl.
I saw it.
The other 3 are kind of odd. We can't funny bite them. Oh, shoot. That's
Take the,
as everybody will tell you, I've been ornery all my life. That's about it, Tim.
Do you still live out in Egypt?
Signing off.
Where do you
No,
live?
I live about a mile and a half from where I was born and raised. I live on County Farm Road, just south of Egypt.
Doris, who they belong to?
Well, do you know a story about Doris? Do you remember anything about Doris?
Oh, no, she was pretty, she was kind of an angel. She never got into trouble, never did any bad tricks that I know of. No, I don't know any, they grew up and we all went our separate ways. So really, I spent more time with Paul than the girl did with Paul and I hanging around too much. We'd all get in trouble with the girl. Oh, she's coming back now, listen. But she never caused any problems. Did you?
oh no, I was one of the good kids.
I told him he was kind of an angel.
Were you about? You say you were closer to Paul, about his age?
No, we were. You know, we're not too far apart.
Well,
How old's Paul?
yeah,
He's 73.
Hey, Paul, you better get over here. He's saying some bad things about you.
Not you, the other Paul. How old is Paul?
he'd be 65 next year.
Different, I like that.
Well, we're 9 years apart.
Yeah.
I'll be 56 next month.
Wait, you're not supposed to chomp. Did you trust it? Did you
Well, they were good. They were good friends growing up together.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Are these right?
He'd come out out to the country, grandpa's place, we'd run all over Egypt Hill.
It is green. Yeah.
We stayed out of the girls' way.
I'm sorry.
They didn't like it.
Well, they liked us, but they just didn't want us horsing around.
I didn't have time to put sugar on them for you.
Aunt Doris, do you introduce me to your husband and to your sister, my mom?
He just walked out the door.
He just walked out the door. He heard this was going on.
Want me to go get him? I'll go get him.
How about your mother?
Okay, sounds good.
Mary?
Why not?
He'll have to go to the camera shop first thing, doing that.
This is my husband, Paul Houston. We've been married. How many years has it been now?
I don't know, I forgot.
13 years. 13 years. He and I live here and sort of caretakers of the place, and
You will be married in July.
it's a nice place to have a reunion.
Yes, it is. It's the first time I've been up here.
It's the first
got a
time for a
nice-
lot of people. I think.
She does the calling and I do the operating.
Oh, he does all the hard work around here, like mowing and cleaning and things like that.
You got any more big lies to tell him now?
No, you can go ahead and tell some lies now if you want.
Tell me a story about her.
That's interesting, though.
Do you know, remember just a story, Aunt Doris?
Do what now?
Just tell me a story about Aunt Doris.
I don't know what to tell her.
He wants you to tell a story about me. Something funny?
Well,
Not too funny now.
Spacer I meant for your
Oh,
mouth.
that keeps
like the time I got left in Manchester, she come all the way home, found the house locked and gave me the devil because the place was locked. She didn't even bring me home with her.
yeah. Fried Gemini.
She didn't want me to tell that, but then I thought it'd be a good thing to tell her.
Yeah.
Well, it's something I'll probably never live down.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Tim.
Are you, you're Doris's sister, right?
That's right. I'm your mother.
Yeah, I'm my mother, right?
Yes.
I remember that. How
You
about
do?
that?
I'm glad you do.
Beautiful picture. Do you remember it?
Gotta get the people coming in the door.
I will. I will.
Okay.
Quite an elaborate dress.
Well, she wanted me in gray. And I looked all over trying to find a gray dress. Finally, Doris, did you? And I finally went up to Fort Wayne, and Doris and I went into the store, and there that was. And she said, try that on. And I tried it on.
I had a friend
You always
that
get me
married
beating my
gray.
face.
You had
Yeah.
enough of that.
Would you introduce me again to
Yes, Tim. I'd like you to meet Miriam Frederick. She is Uncle Henry's daughter. My Uncle Henry.
and who is Uncle
This
Henry?
is Uncle Henry is my Grandpa Orpert's. This is Billy Orpert's brother.
Their father was.
And she was, yes, and their father was Josiah Orpert.
And we can go back one more generation. And Samuel.
Yes, and Josiah's father's name was Samuel. And I have the genealogy right here. He was born in Maryland in August 1st, 1800.
What'd you let him get in all that dirt for, Grandpa?
Oh, I don't know.
And he died in Lima County in 1854.
Just going like that.
He was married to Hannah Shoemaker.
I went up and picked the yellow raspberry for him. Oh, let's see. You got
And
another
he
pair
had
of overalls up here, she said.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children.
Do you know why Josiah, is that his name, or is that Samuel? Do you know why he came to Miami County?
No, it doesn't say.
Josiah was born in Ohio. And
Uh-huh.
he came
Samuel come to Miami County,
about 1846.
but he stopped in Ohio where Josiah was born. And then they come to Miami County.
Do you know why they came to Miami County? Was it just
Well, it
for
was
land?
I suppose the westward movement, there were several of the other families down. The Demuth family came about the same time.
Now, were they relation?
Yes. Mrs. Demas was the sister to Hannah Shoemaker. Oh. And when Hannah Arpert was born, shortly after that, her mother died, was Hannah Shoemaker. And Mrs. Demas was the baby and raised Miss Hannah. And she wrote in a letter to someone that Hannah was more like a daughter to her than a niece. And we couldn't figure out for a long time. And finally we got a letter from, someone had a letter, saved a letter from Miss Hannah Arpert. And she had written it to her brother, Josiah, and she couldn't spell his name at all. Oh, the spelling is terrible. I brought that letter along because it really is something. And she told how she had gone to Arizona and she had married someone after her husband died. It was a very interesting letter. But her spelling was something.
You really had to figure it out.
Yes, she really did. That's interesting. That was the first real hint that we had. Who is this?
Yeah.
Was Samuel's first wife. So we knew the second wife. That's in the records. But the first one, but then they had 3 children after that.
Yeah, Laura Beth.
After she married the second one.
Who is
Look at
this?
the little red light.
This little red light?
Yeah, this is Andrew.
Huh?
Andrew. Andrew.
And who's? Is this?
This is my daughter's youngest daughter's boy, youngest boy, Andrew. Andrew Malott. He has a brother named Danny Malott. Danny is visiting out in San Diego now. Just left last night on the plane.
How old's he?
How old is Danny's? 5, 6? 6 and 2 weeks. So he'll be in first grade next year. What? What juice? What are those things?
He just fell down the steps and banged up his
And you're Paul Daly.
I am Paul Daly. Yes.
Sister to Doris and Mary.
Doris and Mary.
Your sisters, yeah.
Right. Born in Peru, Indiana. I'm 64 years old now.
64 years old now, and you're getting ready to retire.
Plan on retiring next year.
Do you remember any stories about Doris or Mary when you were young?
There's a lot of them. I don't know if I can remember any of them.
Bill Hand said that you and he ran around together.
Oh yeah, we did. We did a lot of things together. We would ride our bicycles together, and of course I would walk out. I lived in town, and of course he lived in Easy Hill. So I would walk out occasionally on the weekends, and we would do things together. Or he would come into my house, ride his bicycle in.
You still live down there on Water Street? Is that where Grandpa always lived?
Yeah, he lived down there on East 8th Street. Yeah, but I don't.
8th Street.
Yeah, 8th Street. It was just about 4 houses east of Water Street. Yeah. But I live in North Manchester now.
Work for the college.
That's right.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And he's smiling now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's having a good time.
So I understand you're a purple ace. Well, yeah, we did look for your name in the phone book down there in Evansville, and maybe we tried several spellings. Maybe we just didn't get
It's
the.
K-I-E, and I'm the only one in there. My brother's not listed in the phone.
We didn't find either, though. It's K-I-E-T-Z-M-A-N.
Right? When were you down there?
Oh, several times.
Several
times this last
Who are you?
Philip's wife, Mary Orford, and Barb is on the basketball team at
University of Evansville.
Oh, that's right.
She's there on a
Yeah, Mom was
basketball
telling me about
scholarship.
that she's down there, you know.
Do you ever go to Roberts Stadium to any of the games?
Oh, well, no, to be honest, I don't.
And your brother doesn't either?
No, we get
When
quite
we
busy.
first learned that you had,
Yeah.
you know, had been to, you did graduate from Evansville?
No, Todd did. I never went to U of E. My brother did. And, you know, I hung around the college a little bit when he was still down there, but I never really went down there too much. I imagine Todd's been to some of the basketball games. I don't know whether he has or not.
I thought maybe you went regularly to them and that once we know you, that we could find you there next year.
Yeah.
We'll be going for 3 years yet, I guess.
Oh, 3 more years. What else is she doing then? What courses she studying?
She's majoring in biology and secondary ed. And she's just going to be a sophomore this year. So she still has 3 years to go and loves it down there.
Now, how are you related to the Orfords?
Your mom is my husband's first cousin.
Okay.
I graduated off of that.
Let's see if I can get that. Yeah, okay.
He's the Philip in the pictures. See, Clarence and Glee Orford are parents of my husband.
Clarence and Glee.
And,
I'm trying to remember him, but it's been a long time since I've seen him. A long time.
oh well, if we saw you before, you were real little boys, very little boys.
I remember some family reunions down in Peru that we'd attended.
Yes, out at whatever the name of the park is.
Could you introduce me to your husband?
Find him. He must be outside.
A year ago.
So
He wants the balloon.
this is your husband, right?
Yes.
We'll get very steady.
Yes.
So how many years have we been married?
Oh,
We've been
30,
married
39 this year.
39 years we've been married. We have 5 children. 4 girls and a boy. The 2 older girls are both married. One,
What's her name?
the oldest one is Karen. She lives in Dayton. And she's married to an attorney in Dayton. And
Marcia.
Marcia is also married to an attorney. They live in Medina, Ohio. They have 2 children. And so that makes us grandparents, I guess. Then Steve is an accountant. He's down in San Antonio, Texas. And then we have 2 younger daughters, both of whom are in college. Our youngest daughter is at the University of Evansville.
That's what he's saying.
Playing basketball there on the girls' basketball team.
I've never looked her up, but I will. So
I made an attempt to find your name in the.
it's a video camera.
Video?
So what I want to be able to do is capture a little bit, you know. Tell me who your mother and father were, how you were related to the Orfords, and your.
Well, my father and mother were Clarence Orford and Glee Orford. And my dad was a...
So who is that man behind you?
Well, that's Kenny.
Well, hi, Kenny. How are you?
Hi, how are you? That's Kenny Orford.
This is Kenny Orford.
That's Kenny Orford. He's got the wrong one. But this is my nephew. And see, my dad was he had 3 sisters. He had Grace, Faye, and Effie. Effie was the oldest. That would be your grandmother.
Right, that's he married Dave.
David. And then Grace married Thurman Hand, and Faye never married, and my dad married Glee Nicodemus. She had 4 boys. I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
That's enough.
Okay, well tell me about your brother. About one of your brothers.
Brother Ed,
Yeah.
from Brother Phil, and Brother William. William couldn't make it today. Philip's here, Edward's here.
Right.
But,
I met Phil.
yeah, Phil's
And
outside.
I got him already on camera. Tell me a
already got
story
him?
about him.
Tell a story about him?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a good boy. I don't know. Anything about Phil?
Well, introduce me to your wife.
Beg pardon?
Introduce me to your wife.
My wife's named Dorothy. She's that little gray-haired lady sitting out over there on the couch in the green.
Let's go over and take a look. Talk with her.
Some say it's a good thing and others say, you know, he's so tired and crabby.
This is Lois Sam.
Hi, Lois.
Yeah, hi.
I was talking to your husband a while ago. I'm going to talk to you, too.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me a story about him.
Oh my, that would take,
When did you first meet? Did you meet in Peru?
yes. I used to work at Kroger's on South Broadway, and he worked at Cutler's, or it was Jones's Hardware. And he'd be out in the morning washing windows when I'd walk by. He always made a point to be outside when I walked down to Kroger's. And then some mutual friends of ours introduced us formally. That's how we got acquainted.
And how long have you been married?
36 years.
36 years.
All the same guy.
Well, I guess that's all.
Okay.
Thank you for talking to me.
Well, thank you.
You're on camera.
No, you aren't married.
Huh?
You are.
Oh, I
Mom and Dad?
You're my Aunt Miriam, and you married Paul Daly, right?
That's right.
Who's my mother's brother, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and you have three kids? Four. That's right, I forgot. 3 girls and a boy. Who are they?
Cheryl is the oldest one.
Uh-huh.
Then Steve, then Kathy, and Jan.
And they're all married and have wonderful kids. I've seen 4 little blonde-headed kids
That's
around here.
right. We have 7 grandsons and 1 granddaughter.
Where did you meet Paul?
The first time I saw him, he was singing in the choir at the church there in Peru.
Are you from Peru too?
Well, my family moved there when I was in high school. We lived there several years, and that's when I met him.
Where's your family from originally?
Well, actually, my mother was born and raised on a farm near Peru, and I was born on a farm on the old home place. And then when I was young, my parents moved to the Chicago area, and that's where I grew up, Chicago and suburbs.
And so after you guys got married, you moved back up there. I remember you living around Elgin for a
Elgin.
long
We lived in
time.
Elgin for 23
Yeah.
We lived in Elgin for 23 years. Were you ever there?
Yeah, I was there. You lived in about 2, maybe 3 different houses that I remember.
You've got a marvelous memory.
And I remember I was there once when you were just buying a house. You were just moving, like 2 or 3 blocks away. Wasn't that right? Maybe it wasn't. Yeah. See, my memory fails.
Well, you might have been there when we were just buying a house, but it wasn't just a few blocks away.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's making a difference.
So, well, thank you for talking with me.
Well,
Any stories you want to relate?
I can't think of anything in particular, only that it was always a big trip, you know, to go from Elgin down to Peru for Christmas or the holidays. It was always a big time when we'd all get together.
Yeah. Do you still live out? You lived out in a house right by Manchester there for a while when you moved back down here. Didn't you? North Manchester?
Well, when we moved into North Manchester,
Yeah.
we moved into an apartment right in town. We lived there for 6 months. And then we now live a mile south.
That's where I remember. I was there once. I remember. That house is just right on the outskirts of town. Right?
Yeah, just about a mile out. We have about a couple acres of ground there. And we've been in Manchester now for 15 years.
Really, it doesn't seem that long.
And we've been married 41 years.
Kevin died.
So the years, and Paul will be retiring now in February. So the years are really.
Well, what are you going to do? You going to sell the house and move to Florida?
No, we won't move to Florida, but I don't know for sure about where. I have 2 years to go.
Thank you.
This is Aaron.
This is Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Can you wave? Say hi.
Hi.
Wave at him. Wave at the camera.
If you wave, I'll show you. I'll show you yourself just a little bit. You'll be able to see yourself on TV.
Put your hand up there real big. Hi. Say hi, Tim. Taking a picture. Hi, Tim. Smile. Hi, Tim. Smile. Hi, Tim. So,
No.
is it she doesn't like your sister? Yeah.
Yes, I meant, there were just the three.
Can you say Tim? Look at that little red light blink up there.
Tim.
I know.
She can't say her T. Nim. Nim and Nom. Tom is Nom.
Who's your mommy? What's your mommy's name?
He said I'm doing okay.
Cover your mouth.
I'm so
Oh, not only.
There's one right back at my
yeah.
tan purse.
Yeah.
Get one out. Well, you could do it.
Oh,
Well,
you're on film.
I walk with a cane when I walk.
it wasn't that heavy.
That's for my arm.
I'm sorry.
Caroline.
I won't ask you to put it back. I'll just get it on.
Well, let me think about it. I'm starting yet because I'm related to the Orfords. My grandfather was an Orford, and our mother was a sister to Effie and Clarence, all cousins, and that's the way we're related.
And you're Mary Million, right?
I'm Mary Million, and her husband Jim, and
How many kids do you have?
I have 4 children, 3 boys and a daughter. And
Are any of them here?
one daughter's here with her little girl, Erin. I have one son married with 2 little children, and the youngest son is married, no children yet. And the next boy is going to be married in October.
I've got
The daughter and little girl is with us.
kept after me.
Son, that's your family. You have any brothers or sisters?
I have a sister, Harriet, and
And
a brother, Bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've talked to Bill already, but that means I have to talk to Harriet.
I thought he had talked to Harriet. Thanks, Mary.
And you're Harriet.
I'm Harriet.
Yes. And your last name is
Staller.
Staller. Okay. And where'd you grow up? Did you grow up right in Peru?
Well, out on Egypt Hill.
Out on Egypt Hill. Yeah. Thurman's kids or?
Thurman and Grace, his daughter, right? I have 3 boys.
Are any of them here today?
One, Mike, is here. The other one is working at Delco, and one working at Square D.
Square D. So he's still right there in town. Is the guy that works at Delco, is he live in Peru yet? Or is he
He's still here, moving to Kokomo before too long, I think. Mike just finished high school, and he's going to IUK this fall.
You got any stories about your childhood living out on Egypt Hill? Everybody seems to remember Egypt Hill
Well, I
real
remember,
heavily.
but I can't think. Only one time when I wanted to ride my brother Bill's bicycle, and I took it down the road, and Aunt Faye had a fit.
Was Aunt Faye living up there at the time? Uh-huh.
she didn't think I should be on Bill's bicycle.
Ah.
So I remember that. We had a lot of good times. Horse is taking my picture back there. This is not fair.
Oh well, everyone has our day in the spotlight. Thank you. He's coming.
Oh, now he's smiling.
Well, right here we have two of my Uncle Paul and Aunt Miriam's children. We have Cheryl and Kathy, right?
Right.
Right. So what are you two doing now? I know you're both married, right? No? Yeah?
Yeah. Well, Cheryl's husband isn't here right yet. He's supposed to come and bring some plates.
I've got 2 boys.
2 boys?
And they're both playing baseball this season.
What's their names?
Brian and Barry. Brian's 9 and Barry's 6.
Where are you living now? I haven't seen you for a very long time. Where are you living?
Well, we moved from Roselle, Illinois to Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. We were there for 4 years, and then we moved to southern Illinois, Salem, which is about 65 miles east of St. Louis.
So you
I like it real well.
drove a long way to get here today, didn't you?
About 5 or 6 hours.
Phew. Well, are you in any kind of family business, or?
No, I'm working at home,
Uh-huh.
housewife.
Could you tell me a story about Kathy when you two were kids?
Kathy.
Yeah, think of a
I
good
was so much older than Kathy.
She could tell one about Steve.
one. Or Steve.
Brother here.
Yeah.
Steve
can have a big spoon for the fruit.
It's in the plastic bag where the croissants are.
Where's that? I don't even see.
Steve gets to be in on
Are they
it.
here?
They might be in Jan's trunk.
Well, I wonder where Jan is.
Well, let's see.
Or about Steve,
Steve,
or
how
just.
old were you when you built your chicken coop and had your chicken pets? He built a chicken coop all by himself and had several chickens and a rooster and some geese.
We had some ducks, and one day Dad, which is Paul Daly, butchered one of those ducks and
Chopped its head off.
chopped its head off and roasted it up on Sunday morning. We all went to church and we came home, and my sisters couldn't face to eat it, so they all went out to eat, and I ate it.
You who raised it?
I who raised it would eat it. That's the only one.
And the one thing I wasn't expecting to run around the yard like a kid.
Oh.
Took its head off and it was just running all over.
So Steve, you're married now, and is this your boy here?
This is the oldest child, which is only 7, Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas.
Andrea. There, Andrea.
I'm Tim.
Here comes Andrea right in front of your camera.
Yeah.
And she's
He's out!
3.
He's out!
And my wife is Jenny.
He's out!
And we live in Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne. And you, what do you do for a living?
Hey, someone,
Well, right now I'm selling for Taylor Freezers, which is ice cream equipment, and
Can someone hold this now?
another restaurant
Get out? Yeah, I got
on the road to the state of
Well,
Indiana.
that makes it for a rough time, doesn't it, on the road all the time?
I haven't been in it that long. I kind of enjoy it right now, but yeah, I get kind of tired.
Yeah.
My dad's come here. I caught it myself. We got about 20 singles.
Kathy? Kathy? Tell me about your family.
Greenhead frog. Guys, you might jump. Look out, Chris. That's vicious.
Uh-huh.
He's vicious.
Is this Steve coming up right here?
pointing at me. What are you doing that for?
This is Steve.
Hello.
And Chris.
Son Christopher.
Where's Christopher?
And
Right there.
Frog
Christopher.
here. And Terry. He's
night.
Hi, Carrie.
No, don't stomp on the
Don't stomp on the frog. Let's look at the frog. Okay.
Catch the froggy.
Hi.
Yeah.
There's another one that big. Someone get the top. Get the other one, quick. Get the other one,
We
man.
live in Elkhart.
In
There's a
Elkhart?
snail on him for eating.
That's a nice city. It is pretty nice.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Frog. Frog.
10 years.
Yeah.
No, not before
I remember the last time that we came up to visit you up in Elgin, somebody had a shortwave radio set in the basement. Who was that?
I don't know if that would have been.
You want to go watch
Steve
it?
have anything like that? I don't remember.
Sure.
I don't remember that. I remember Steve made his own fan, and he kept it in his room, but that was on Kaskaskia. He had this little tiny box in his fan. But I don't remember that.
Huh. I think it was around 68, 69. So I don't know whether Steve was still here
That
or
would have
not.
been on Edison.
Yeah.
That had been Steve.
Yeah.
No, Steve, did you have a shortwave radio at the house?
Huh?
Did you make a shortwave radio and have it at the house?
No, I just had a little model radio kit when I was a kid. I put it together. And
Well, that's what Tim remembered. Tim
Yeah.
said he remembers
I
that.
remember a shortwave radio set or something. Anyway, we listened to weather, national weather reports and the time zones and everything.
I used to go to bed at night listening to this guy. He was on the top of some hotel in Chicago, and he'd say something like, top of the Broadway Hotel. Singing, we bring you the easy listening music, whatever.
I'm Tim Kitzman. I'm the eldest son of Mary Kitzman and Bill Kitzman. Mary Kitzman is Mary Daly, who is related to the Orprits. What's Grandma's first name?
Effie?
Effie. Effie Orprit was my mom's mom.
Effie Orprit.
Effie Orprit. Right. And I'm married to Claudia Eitner Kitzman, who's not here today, and we have no kids. That's about it.
We're glad to have you.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, little story. I can remember going down to my Grandpa Daly's down in Peru, down on 8th Street. And we used to play back in the pantry. We used to.
Remember the pantry?
Yeah, I remember the pantry with all the shelves in the pantry and the old trucks and everything. And we used to take these boards that were I don't know what kind of boards they were, but they're about this wide. They look like sections of the dining room table. We used to stack them up in front of this door.
That's what they were.
Yeah. We used to stack them up in the door and barricade the door off so that we were all in our own private little room with this hot water heater and all these toys. And that's my story.
That's wonderful. And it's all a little bit shaky because I was laughing.
Okay, press the trigger.
Press the trigger again?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Turn your face. I'm Janice Watt. I'm the daughter of Paul Daly and Miriam Daly. His mother was Effie. His father was Charles Marvin Daly. Right now I'm living in Michigan City with my two sons, Daniel, who is almost 6, and Andrew, who is 18 months.
Andrew's around here somewhere, isn't he?
Andrew's always running around somewhere, but he's never still. And that's about all I'm doing right now. Am I supposed to look at you or him? What?
Whatever feels comfortable.
I don't like looking right at the camera.
Look at me. Look at me.
I was thinking of a time when we were playing at Grandpa's house. I remember the pantry with all the toys, the little toy guns. I think that was the first place we hid every time we walked in the door. But I can remember a time we were playing hide and go seek, and somebody went around to the bathroom and they climbed up. No, actually it was in the pantry. They climbed up in the pantry onto the shelf where they were hiding. And sometime later, we went into the bathroom. And while in the bathroom, we noticed that there was a very large amount of white, frothy stuff coming out of the cupboard. And when we opened the cupboard, we noticed that while whoever was hiding in the pantry had set on top of the shelf that had shaving cream in it and had discharged all of the shaving cream out into the bathroom shelf. And it was coming out all over the place. It was the biggest mess I ever saw.
Did Grandpa get mad?
No, Grandpa didn't.
Do you remember the big old clock that Grandpa used to have on that wall?
We always slept on the floor at Grandpa's house, and all night long we could hear the clock chime time, and I always remember the tick-tock and the chimes. Wonderful. And I can remember a time we were playing out back when, it must have been you and me, and we were taking hammers and chisels.
Yeah.
We were going to chisel off all the rough spots on the foundation of the house and make it all smooth for Grandpa.
Industrious little devils, aren't they?
Oh boy, we were destructive too. I never remember Grandpa's reaction because he must not have ever got mad.
He never got mad.
No.
Never.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of your dad.
My dad is just like Grandpa. Grandpa would sit in his chair and read lots of books. And sometimes he'd hold me in his lap and he'd take my chin and he'd shake it real fast, and when I'd just say something it would come out, and it was just so much fun. I remember that most about Grandpa.
I remember his suspenders most.
Oh really? I don't remember his suspenders.
His suspenders and snap them and laugh, and I have a great time.
And then his false teeth. And the sharpening shop.
It's too bad you didn't get to know your grandmother.
I never knew Grandma.
She was a very compassionate lady for children. She loved children. And you and Tim and Todd did not get the privilege of meeting her.
I'm Jim, and my cousin Miriam here is looking at them right now. I'll show them to you in a minute. There you are. There's Mary and Jim's family.
Let's see whether I can focus in on those or not.
Can you?
I gotta get back up just a little bit here. Okay.
There is part of Paul's family.
Uh-huh.
And there is
So this year.
Dad and Mom, isn't it?
yeah, there's 3 or 4 of them there talking.
And there's the
There's a
grand
whole
picture.
group
Yeah.
that was there last year, except for myself, and then there was 2 families that came later.
I'm glad you brought it.
And then there's those are Bill's family.
Mailing expenses, cause it's.
Bill Hayes family.
Here, Heather got a hat.
There's a dark cloud over around.
There's part of your family.
Right.
Because the mailing expense, you know, the order
There's some of them just sitting around talking.
Don't they take a
Sitting
collection
around.
every year out of ours? And that helps cover the expenses.
Well, or if it's
Yeah.
house somewhere where
And
it's
you're-
little
you're
expenses.
Edward Orpin, right?
Edward Orford, that's right.
Now, who's your mom and dad?
Yeah, and I
Clarence
said we
and
took it
Gleason.
up and
Clarence and Glee.
they loved it.
Yes, and I'm the second of
Yeah,
4
here's
boys.
paper plate.
They used to take
I
care
had
of the
3 brothers.
meat and drinks.
3 brothers and they are.
And
Who are they?
William was
didn't
the
like the
oldest,
way it
and I
was
was
going.
second,
So
and
much
Phil
of
was
the
the
drink
third,
wasted.
Uh-huh.
and Ken was the 4th.
They
And that's the
decided
Orford
that
side of the
it was
cousin.
That's the
expensive
Orpert side of the cousin.
change.
That's right.
over
Now, you have kids? You have boys?
Did the
Yours-
one that had
Yes, I have 3 sons and 2
Indiana,
daughters.
they more or less furnished the meat, you know.
And
little type
I
of
have,
meat.
Is Kenny here? Is he your son?
yeah, Kenneth's my oldest son.
You're right. And he's outside here. We'll get him in just a little bit. Does he have any kids now?
No.
He's got 1 son.
One son?
And take our own drinks,
And,
except the coffee. I think.
Dirty one or
My
No, clean one,
oldest
right?
daughter
I guess
has
I'll-
5, and
Whoever hosts
and
it,
my,
makes the coffee.
middle
We
son's
did it
got
up there
2.
in Manchester last
Go out to my husband,
And,
Kenny, and tell him
Well, I
to
think it
put
was
in
My
just
some.
youngest
hot
daughter's
water
got
and then
12.
and then
And
the
then,
coffee. I believe Ed did it though. I think Ed Nella did it.
Al's got 2 daughters.
Coffee.
That's
Don't come to me, I didn't bring
5
any
children.
money. Oh, yes, you did.
You
Then
gotta
we've
go out to
got
Don.
33 great grandchildren.
Here, Albert. Oh, you two bags will take
Boy.
the plate around?
No,
Oh.
How is
Looking for
Albert doing
donations?
now? I haven't seen him for a long
Are you
time.
going to?
Well, he's on call this week. He's got a crew that's on call for cable, so he works for Cox Cable there.
Oh, he does?
And he is on call until he gets him trained. So
Whatever,
he
Mary.
can come.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just write out a check.
he still lives there on Chestnut Street.
And I was talking to Phil and to
We'll even
well,
take credit
a couple of them. They were telling me stories about out there in Egypt's Hill when you were a kid. Do you remember any stories like out there?
Well, yes, I can remember my great grandmother Mary. And,
What was her last name?
Skinner Orton.
Skinner Orton.
I have a
You
picture
have a picture of her?
Okay,
right here. She lived in the old log cabin. I remember when I was a child. I think she died when I was somewhere around 8, 9 years old. And she smoked a clay pipe, and she used to stick it down in her apron when we'd go over to talk to her because Dad was a deacon in a church and she didn't want him to see her smoking. And so he would ask her to take the pipe out and put it out so she wouldn't burn her apron. I remember that very well as a child.
That's a good one. I've already talked to Kenny, and he says I should talk with you.
Kenny, did you say you should talk?
You all up at Jim's wife.
Did I say one?
What did you say about
Why do you
Kevin?
not know Jim?
I didn't ask him about Kevin. I'm going to ask you about Kevin. How's Kevin doing?
Well,
Fine.
He's still down in Terre Haute.
Still there in Terre Haute. He has a noonday show. And he's busy this weekend emceeing a beauty pageant. Next weekend he'll be hosting a historical thing.
Jim was dead before.
And the next weekend he's emceeing some kind of a program.
So,
No, that's the end.
That's the end? Okay.
Ask them one.
A stranger in town, huh?
You're still living in Evansville?
Yeah, I'm still living down in Evansville, working for the telephone company.
Is
And
that one of the Bell companies?
yeah, that's one of the Indiana Bell. It's one of the
Indiana Bell.
operating companies here.
What do they call it in Kentucky? Across the river.
Well, that's
You're a
Kentucky
He-Man,
Bell,
aren't
but it's South Central Bell. It's a different company entirely.
Right.
Yeah.
And Todd's still down there.
Yeah, Todd's still down there with his wife, and still has. Well, they're married and have, well, obviously, and have a kid now, Chad
That's
Ryan.
what I heard. Just
Yeah.
a new baby.
Just a
right?
new
Few
baby,
months
about
old.
3-4 months old.
Because I heard Grandma talking about it.
Yeah, she's proud, isn't she?
She spent a couple days over at our house while we had a garage sale.
Uh-huh.
With my Aunt Faye's.
Yeah.
Hello, Laura Beth.
Jennifer.
How did that go?
Real pleased. We got rid of almost everything. And my daughter-in-law was there too and had a...
Bill Million, right?
Oh, I'm Jim.
You're Jim. I'm
Jim.
sorry, Jim.
Yeah.
Ah. And who'd you marry?
Jennifer?
Mary Grace Hand.
Mary Grace Hand. So relation by the hand.
Oh, just looking
right?
around there, the kids were
My
wanting me to take
mother-in-law
a
was an
picture,
orphan.
and I'm not too
Your mother-in-law was
Grace
an
Orphan.
wouldn't take it.
Ah.
So my wife's name is
Get their
Mary
mother.
Grace.
Uh-huh.
Aaron's got a balloon.
No one calls her that anymore except her old school friends.
Yeah. Does she hit him when they do?
Pardon?
Oh, never mind.
Yes, she hears that. Sure does. But, so that's why I'm here.
Yeah, well, you're a cousin.
One of them, I
Yeah,
guess.
you're one of them.
Yeah.
And you have 2 kids or 3 kids?
We have 3 boys and 1 daughter. My
What's your
daughter's
boys?
here.
Yeah, your daughter's here, Sue's here.
And I have 3 sons that didn't come.
They don't even keep coffee in the house.
What are they doing now?
Well, my oldest son's Richard. You probably
I remember
you went
Rich.
to school with him. I
Yeah.
expect. He works at Delco. And
Tell her Bill wants
he's in
to
the
hear.
process of getting in skilled trades down there right now. He's
Miriam
a
Dale.
radio repairman.
That pays good.
And plans on moving into skilled trades soon. Probably electrician. And second boy Tom is engineer at Square D.
Ah.
And David, the youngest one, works at United Technology in Peru. He's a tool and die apprentice or mold maker apprentice.
United Technology, where's that at? Peru? I don't know.
It's the old Essex plant.
Ah.
United Technology bought out Essex 2 years ago. I guess they still call it Essex Division or something.
Hi there.
And he's married. Tom's getting married in October, so then they'll all be married.
Any grandkids yet?
Yeah, this little girl right here.
Is your little girl? Hold on just a second.
Get over there with Grandpa, Aaron.
You want to come over here? Tim wants to take your picture. Yeah.
You're not supposed to be in there, Jennifer.
That's all right.
Laura, look out, he's taking pictures.
This is Pat's daughter.
Jennifer.
Her name's Erin. Richard has two children. Amy's 6 and Greg is 2.
You didn't tell her what I wanted, did you?
Growing the family.
Yeah. Aaron's going to be 2 next week.
Well, happy birthday,
I said it was
Aaron.
important that you needed to see her.
You're not coming, though.
Floyd Reese's brother.
This, yeah, that looks like it ought to be a lease. We're going to try to have a meeting for everybody.
Well, I got 54.
I'll bet that is a lease.
Maddie and this is Maddie and
Yeah. Yeah.
this is Kelsey. I know. That's important. I
Everybody better write those down.
You're gonna bring your cushions in or you're gonna be wet.
What are we doing? We'll have a meeting for next year, I guess.
Like it here.
I don't know where else could have come. Our house wouldn't.
24 is a good example of 2 barns that I know that Grandpa built because my dad showed me. And this is when you cross the new bridge out there on the center wall, the old bridge, crossed over there by the circus quarter, and this is at the corner of Franklin Slocum Trail and Cole Porter. The coal estate.
Good enough farm?
They're at one corner of 124 and Franklin Slocum.
Good enough.
And then on the end of the barn it says 1909.
Dad, is that good enough?
All the barns shaped like that in the county are the ones that Grandpa did. And then here's the cement one, the dairy barn, and it's shaped the same way, but it's built out of brick and cement block.
Did he do that too?
He did that one too. That was the first one. And the rest of them are wood. And there's about there's 15. Here's a little closer picture of the. But there's 15 or 20 barns in that neighborhood. Grandpa Cruz built, and he's the one that designed them.
Ed,
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I've heard a tale that a retired grandpa from the brewery, because he kept taking Aunt Faye and And Mom down there is giving them free beer. Now, is there any truth to that?
It's a rumor because they retired him because he fell and hurt himself.
Okay.
They did have their share of beer though.
Well, I believe they did, but I don't think it. I don't think that's a part of the story. What?
Yeah, they go to the breweries.
Yeah, they used to get.
I don't.
Nettles and mosquito bites.
Is it all overgrown around there?
Oh yeah, real heavy back in there. Paul's got it all mowed down through here though. You got a new bridge down there. Have you seen it?
Really?
It's nice.
What about the beaver dam? Is the beaver dam still there?
Yeah.
How many beavers do you think you got down there?
Oh, there's just one lodge, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's one family of them. I don't know how many in the family. They chase off the youngsters, don't they?
Well,
When they get overcrowded.
They're so long and they run them out. I don't know where they go. But
Yeah, where would they go around here? There must be another lake or something down below.
There's more than one down there.
2 lakes down below yet.
Well, the last I heard about you, you were doing car painting and was getting a national reputation.
Yeah, I stay pretty busy at it.
Mm-hmm. What else are you doing?
Mostly race cars all winter. In the summer, there isn't much race car business.
You didn't say what kind of a reputation he was getting, did you?
No, we don't talk about that.
Get up to Chicago much anymore?
Not a whole lot. I was going to get up there this summer just for fun of it. We just got back from the Smoky Mountains.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Still living up in Fort Wayne.
Yep.
Last year, Steve was here telling a story about you in a restaurant and
I didn't even recognize him, right?
yeah.
I thought.
And well, he didn't really recognize you. He kept looking at
He
you.
kept looking at me, and just about half made me mad. I thought, what's this goon looking at? You know? I was about to say something to him, then it hit me. That's
Was my
Steve.
camera in the van? Why don't you move the van back out of the?
Well, I figured you wanted to go to the house in a little bit, so.
Oh, well, yeah, I will. I might as well go now, I guess.
So how's your artwork doing? What are you doing for rest and relaxation in the art field? Anything?
Absolutely nothing.
You were talking about some scrimshaw and some.
Oh, I do a little bit of that for fun and to trade off at like at muzzleloader meets and things like that. But
Building your own muzzle loading?
I built a couple, 3, 4. I guess 4 altogether.
Like your cannon. Do you have access to a forge or something, or you just?
No, I just use a torch and a hammer. Just get it hot enough to bend.
And your cannon. We'll watch you fire off your cannon a little later. But you don't have. Do you have any powder or anything?
I forgot the powder. You don't have any black powder. You haven't got any fuse, have you?
No, I gave you all that fuse I had.
Well, then we're not going to shoot today.
I'm not going to shoot the cannon.
Darn it.
Perfect place for it. Take it down.
You got black powder, don't you?
Yeah.
We could make us up a hanger wire torch and just fill the prime hole.
Take you some string and dip it in alcohol or something and light it. Just hang it over it and light it. When it burns
Prime the
up
hole?
to it, it'll go.
Let's go down there and get some powder after a while. Shoot out
Load
a
her
dry
up,
charge.
huh?
Got anything to load it with?
You got a broomstick?
Probably find one.
Broomstick and some rags.
No, I mean projectile.
No, we just have to shoot a dry charge.
Just shoot a charge in it.
It's plenty noisy that way, though. It's real noisy.
You just want to scare my geese, don't you?
Oh, no, I guess we better not. That's right. They're nesting up there, aren't they? Are they nesting now? Are they nesting?
Heck no, them young ones are about half grown.
Oh. Well, then let's do scare your geese up. We can watch them fly. Boy, our softball team, we were undefeated the whole season until last Monday. We got beat twice in a doubleheader.
Really?
We they have the division.
Oh.
Well,
You hear about that, what was it, the Wabash baseball team or something?
they sweet.
Out in the water.
Out in the water.
You know how they sleep, don't you?
Hell no, I don't know how to sleep.
They cock their head, don't they, on the, like that?
They'll go out in the clear open space.
Yeah.
And they'll sit with 1 foot down. Instead of drifting with the wind, while the wind will just keep turning them.
I'll be there.
Oh yeah?
Well, they're just handy. I mean, you can put your silverware and your cup on there and...
We got a sideboard to go through that.
You don't need to worry. I don't need.
What's your name?
You can see
Hmm,
here.
Jennifer?
I don't have a big belly like some of these
You're on
other
TV.
Uh-oh.
You are?
None of us have.
Uh-oh.
You like to be on TV?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're on TV now.
You want to be on TV?
Well, it's all right. They always take pictures of the pretty girls on TV.
That's right.
Notice that?
They're always the stars. Well, got any stories for me?
Yeah,
What's happening?
Not for that.
Not for that?
Not
Oh, yeah.
Turn that on to go.
Yeah. Here, I thought everyone was just be talking away. I could just kind of sneak in.
Ed can fill that tape with stories.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't believe I should do that.
Why not?
Ed's our spokesman. He can remember things we can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's because I always pay attention to what's going on. You guys are the ones that went through life in a dream.
You want to go walk that back down to the pond, Laura?
You believe that, huh?
Yeah, we believe Ed. Put your feet down. That's not going to look very good on somebody else's TV.
Well, this is for the cousins. Bring this out and show it in 10 years, and everybody will go, wow.
10 years from now.
10 years from now. Well, we can watch last year's. What you talking about? Was it Grandpa Daly falling off the brewery roof?
Grandpa Orpert.
Grandpa Orpert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he fell off more than once. He fell through the roof, clear down to the basement.
I think 2 or 3 times he fell
And
off the side
the
of it.
last time he fell, it actually stoved him up so bad that he couldn't work very much anymore. And that's when he had to quit working regularly.
You know, he just simply stood up there with no notes, and he was so interesting. And everyone really appreciated each time he talked. He was super. And I said to him after, I said, you're just a natural. You should be teaching in medical school. Not the slightest idea that it was on his mind. But it must have been on his mind.
Where's Bill at? Hey, Bill. I want you to notice that I'm on video.
Put right on regular car wheels, which hooked on the back of his
I
truck.
was gonna say, take one of the juice cans, you put powder in the end and fuse.
Just a toy.
Get a delayed burst.
The Russians come over here, I'm going to look these guys up with their cannons.
Well, tell them about that time that, was it Nixon come to Fort Wayne up there?
It was Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy Carter come?
What was that, Vernon Jordan got shot down there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jimmy Carter was in town, and this is the guy that has that big cannon, that shoots the grenade juice can. And they were all out there just target shooting. They had no idea the president was going to be in town, but they just happened to be along the presidential route. And they came in helicopters and police cars and converged on the guys, you know, and they thought they were out there with some kind of artillery waiting on the president. So they finally realized that they were just out for a good time, and then so they backed it into the garage, and then the cops stayed there with them. And they wrote a big story about it in the newspaper. Said, cannon conflict.
June the 28th, 1986. And want to thank Doris and Paul for having us here at the lodge. And I'd like to thank the committee for their work during sending out the letters and so forth. And I want to welcome everyone that's here, all the family members and all the guests. And if you have a new family member with you or a guest that you'd like to introduce,
Get in, Phil.
now would be the time. Is there any new member of the family or guest here that hasn't been introduced to the family? If not, then is there any minutes to read from the last meeting? Was there any minutes taken?
Who's the secretary?
Well, apparently, I wasn't even sure, I wasn't even sure that I was president. I couldn't tell whether you were joking. Sons, was the time we blowed up this muzzle loader behind the barn. He had a big muzzle loader gun, and we'd taken it out behind the barn, and we thought we could shoot it, and we blowed it up.
What, you loaded too much powder in it?
Yeah, fortunately none of us got hurt. Grandpa was the only time I ever saw him angry enough to spank his grandchildren. And he lined us up and spanked us. And that's the end of the story.
That's the end of the story.
Uncle Fred's, all right. Grandma Orford, that's Emily, was hardest to remember when you was a grandchild because she was always ill. And you always had to go in the house and sit down and talk to her. And of course, boys don't stay in the house very long when they're young. And so, consequently, we run out in the woods and so forth, and we didn't get to know our grandmother as well as we did our grandfather or our aunts and uncles and so forth, because she was bedfast about half of each day when I remember, and that was several years before she died.
She had evidently water on the lungs, kind of an emphysema type of thing.
Yeah, it was, they called it all kinds of things, consumption, and they said she had something relative to, what is it?
Pneumonia?
No. It wasn't, what is it that people died of quite a bit in those days? I forget.
Consumption?
Well, they call it concussion, complications, but it was not TB, but a relative of TB, you see. But in those days, they had no way of curing it. See? And so she eventually died of it. That's all I know about it. Of course, they didn't tell us grandchildren and everything.
No.
That's it.
Okay.
Stand over there and see if he'll come in. Hey, you. Come here. Darren. Come here. Come on. Come on. Let's go. All right.
We get the dinger in the bell.
Oh, well, there we go. In the back shot. All right. Yay, Derek. He likes it when you clap. Yay, Derek. Go, go, go. What a peach.
So Diana.
That was some gutters.
Wait a second here. So, since you didn't make the cousins reunion, would you introduce us to the newest member here?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
This is Derek. Say hello. Say hello, Derek. Hi.
There he is.
Hi, Derek.
And that's Chris's boy, right?
Chris's son. He's going to be a year old in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
And there's Uncle Jeff.
Yeah.
Hi. Wave for the camera.
Aunt Betsy.
Next to be Aunt Betsy.
Uh-huh.
And Derek's mother, Brenda, came along.
Okay. Hello, Brenda.
Where you going? You have to say hi.
Yeah.
I've never seen myself in videotapes, so see, I'm not afraid at all.
No, you don't have anything to worry about yet.
Really? After I see this, I'll become camera shy.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Thank you. The Millions, Mexico, Indiana, location of the 1991 Cousins reunion. Look at all the cars. 51 people.
Well, we lived in this town 35 years. We lived in this house 20 years.
Yeah, now that you volunteered, you want to say something for the camera?
Not I this year. You got me on film once.
Several times.
No, we don't talk about video. I get embarrassed talking to my wife, let alone to the camera. Come on, talk to the camera. Look at it. Talk right into the land. Talk right into the land, Dad. Come on, Dad.
Why don't you guys talk in there?
We are, but you look into the camera and we'll talk.
Nice braids. Who does your braids?
My mom,
And what's your name?
Rachel,
Rachel. And who's your mom?
Teresa,
Teresa?
And your last name?
Yeah.
Staller,
Staller? Where do you live?
Peru.
In Peru?
Yeah.
Can you say more than one word at a time? Oh, I didn't mean to embarrass you.
Go ahead and talk in there, please.
You know, in 20 years, somebody will look at this and say, "Who was that?" What would you like to say to somebody in 20 years?
Aaron, turn around and talk to the camera.
Well, she's showing off her braids. She's showing off her big old pigtail braid. The volleyball game.
His name is Spencer.
And then there's
Spencer.
No, that's Spencer. And still Mary Ruth. So now, her husband, which is Kenny,
Oh, that guy out there.
and William
Out
is
there acting in the back row there, that's called up, right there.
they were all boys. Dora, Bill, Tim's
Oh, yes. Hi, Tim. I know Tim.
I'm doing fine. What's your name?
Rich.
Rich.
Kids staying all night with us tonight, son?
No.
Jim Mitchell's not here. Doris got a son.
Where you living
In Indianapolis.
Are you?
Yeah. Bought a house down in the near east side of Indianapolis.
Where's Bill? Where's Todd?
Between the hours he works and the hours his wife works, they don't get away.
Embarrassing.
Well, see, you have to get in close now. To everybody.
And
Speak up right in there.
Yeah. Tim, this is Trish.
who is soon going to be Mrs. Steve Daly.
Hello, Trish.
This is Steve.
This is Steve. And Sister Jan.
No, not as her husband.
Oh, the other guy. Ed? One the white hair.
Are you recording all this?
Bob, that's
If you're not recording
that's Bill.
That's a famous line.
That's
I
Bill's.
hope you're not recording this.
That's Bill's son, Bob.
Which one?
Bob. That's Bill's son, and his wife
Oh,
is...
sure. Well, Bob is at the end of the table.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But he's getting this all down. Cut!
Who are you asking about, Steve? The man you're asking about.
I asked originally about the man in the blue shirt.
On
And
this
you-
side.
And that's Harriet's husband?
Yeah, yeah.
That was my original question.
Join Hannah. Banana. 11 months old and got a tooth in her head.
Lucky for anything that reaches her mouth, huh?
Oh, you better. He eats everything. Yeah, show him those thighs. Oh, you can't see the thighs, can you? They are really something.
Me let him.
Well, she's working on that belt.
Push me to push you.
Yeah, there's not going to be much left of it, you know. Maybe some teeth will come through. Oh, she's trying to come.
That's a smile, isn't it? Well, tell me about Chicago. What's happening up there?
Chicago. We've been there, well, Hannah and I have only been there since January.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a scrap of lawn.
You living right in Chicago?
Yeah, we live on the north side near Loyola.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Close to the lake.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that that's up by Evanston too, right?
Yeah, we're about maybe 15 minutes south of Evanston.
Okay. Then I do know the area. Pretty close. About how far from the lake? That's good.
Well, in a way, except that my irrational mind is beginning to resent the lake because it isn't trees like Indiana.
There's nothing but big blocks and a fishy smell sometimes.
Yeah, and there are lots of parks. Boy, it's just city.
Do you have a walk up?
Yeah.
Or is it a house?
Half up, yeah. It's a 3-story building. We're just about half up. There's half down, half up, and then it goes up.
Okay, a little more. Okay, a little more.
We should.
I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you.
So this is Ed.
This
I'm ready for you.
You got that? You got that?
No, I don't beat her. It's not true. I don't.
There you go.
Here we are. Please go get my mom. Mom! Can you spare me? Can you push me?
One more.
You gotta smile bigger than that. Okay. I'm out of film.
Got a nice girl here, Ed.
Oh, yeah?
She is. Go over there. Let the swing swing. Don't stop.
Has 9 strokes.
Still lives to be nice.
Still lives to be 9. See, longevity on mother's side of the house. And my uncles didn't think they were old until they got to their 90s. I I got one uncle now that's 93, brother to mom, and he still goes to Florida, and he goes up in Uncle Verrill said that. He said if I could find a good woman, I'd get married again. His wife died last spring.
Can you wave? Ah, you like the camcorder, don't you?
Thank you.
What's your name?
Marcel.
Marcel?
No, you wasn't supposed
Where do you live?
before you take. I know what you look like.
And where?
Peru, I guess about what's
Where is that?
Like Girls 10 wasn't as pretty as the flower one. That's kind of like a matte finish, you know what I mean? Kind of like it's not.
I think somebody has a blue station wagon back there, but I'm going to follow you on the search for the blue station wagon.
I think Bob's got the blue station wagon right there. He's recording the search for the blue station wagon.